Socrates would spend most of his time in the Agora, which is an old Greek market in Athens. The population at this time was around 150,000 people, and all of everyone basically used this market. So that was like peasants, merchants, people in the military, politicians, and your average Joe. So it was a very popular space. Now he would go up to strangers and he would ask them profound questions, or not even profound, just ask them thought-provoking questions, like, why are you living the kind of life that you are living now? He found quite an inadequacy with a lot of the answers that he received, especially from those in power who maybe should have it together more, because they're the ones that are leading the country and leading their community anyway. Rather than to make trouble, Socrates was aiming to try and challenge people to think for themselves and to look at where they gave their power away, and whether they were giving it away to other friends and family, or politicians and generals and the kind of army, military people. What I admire most about Socrates is that he wasn't afraid to go up to strangers and just look weird. He wasn't afraid to be a weirdo, and to get people to think about things in their life that perhaps they don't usually give thought to. They just do things and they don't think about why, the reasons behind why they do. And I think it's really, really important to delve into your own character and to find out why it is that we do these things and why we have certain behaviours and attributes and preferences as well. We are all capable of thinking and reflecting on our own lives. We are all capable of doing it, and we're often quite good at it, but we don't always do this, and I think that as a race is our downfall. We have this ability to think, and we have an ability to string thoughts together and look at things and kind of piece together bits of information and process it. Socrates asked these questions because he wanted us to come out of our timidity and laziness, and to find out what we really think about why we live the way we do. And he encouraged us to live a life of intelligent non-conformity, as he called it. Intelligent non-conformity. To me, intelligence means thinking for yourself and making decisions that end up going the way that you intended them to. So you're using your brain to think about things, and you're looking at the cause and effect and how it is going to develop. For instance, one of the ways I feel that I have learned some of my intelligence is through being dedicated and using willpower to overcome certain things. So smoking was one of them, but now I feel like I haven't smoked for long enough that I can use my intelligence to know, well, I can never have a toke of a cigarette again, because if I do, I will start smoking. So these things and the learnings that they offer create intelligence through experience. So the more you do, and the more you do different things, the more you're going to grow, and the more experiences you'll accumulate, which therefore I feel like your intelligence grows. I feel that self-confidence is a sister of intelligence, because with self-confidence someone is listened to and they're given attention. Therefore, by combining intelligence with self-confidence, one can behave in different ways. They can either falsely promote themselves without having anything of relevance, interest or sustenance to say, or they can use it wisely and they can use these attributes with respect and care. Thoughts can be investigated, thought about, developed and shared, with the hopes of sparking ideas in others. I mean, it's more to start a conversation up about it, so the human race can have a successful and meaningful life. Because the more that we talk, the more that we realise that we actually relate to others, and we're all human beings sharing this present moment in time. It bonds us together and it makes us all feel like we actually belong. This helps us understand how each other are feeling. And because we all relate to one another, we feel compassionate towards one another, and therefore we are considerate towards each other. So then we can act as a species, and with unity, love develops, and we increase care for fellow man. Love empowers us. It gives our body energy and lifts us up. 1. Socrates talked to strangers from all walks of life. 2. He asked them about why they were living the way they did. 3. He found most people didn't know or hadn't thought of it. 4. Humans like to follow others and have leaders. 5. They are influenced by these leaders and authorities. 6. Humans do not think beyond authority, and what if it wasn't so? What if things were different? They just accept or conform. 7. What humans all have in common is that they are all in this present. They are all alive in this time. 8. Socrates sacrificed his image and the way that he was perceived by others because they thought he was a bit of a nutcase. So he sacrificed himself in order to help humanity. 9. We must think for ourselves. 16. Our bodies are naturally intelligent, or they wouldn't be so efficient. It's so true the way that we don't think about breathing, and yet we depend on it for living. So our bodies obviously have created this system where it's just instinctual. 17. Socrates believed we should live intelligent non-conformity. So that's doing what we want. And that leads on to 18. I'll stop doing that now. Intelligence is an action executed as intended. 19. Self-confidence is a way to show and demonstrate intelligence. 20. By sharing with one another, we can grow, understand, and relate. 21. Through relating, we feel compassion. Through compassion, we are considerate. 22. With this in common, mankind acts with unity. 23. Mankind grows love for one another. 24. Love gives us energy. So I hope that you learned something here, or you're inspired, or it provoked thoughts in yourself. And I'd love you to ask you the question now: why are you living the kind of life that you are living? Just think about it. Just think about it, and you can keep your answers to yourself, or you can share them with us, which would be marvellous. I'd love to get a collection of people's replies together to put on the Be the Change Journal's blog, so we can kind of see side by side people's answers, and we can kind of recreate Socrates' experiment, or not experiment, his life work. So, right, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe, because it makes me feel great and it makes me feel really empowered, and I want to do more to help. So have a fantastic day, everybody, and I shall see you soon. Near the birds.